Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science, the most authentic voice in true crime. The number 9 clue we all missed, what do you think it is? The black and white image is ostensibly from a Firewatch camera overlooking Prosser Creek Reservoir. It purports to show a single headlight at 12:34. Do you remember on the 25th of August when there wasn't much news? We were in a similar period of sort of doldrums where a high-profile case sort of went off the boil and nothing was really being reported. And do you remember during that time, party footage with the word Prosser on it and a date apparently showed footage of the party. That turned out to be fake, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is fake as well. The source for the image, as far as I could find, is an obscure Twitter user with 6 followers. Like the fake Prosser party video footage, the importance of this footage isn't so much whether it's genuine or not, but that it offers a new perspective. It's kind of a different way of thinking about this, on what it may have looked like at the reservoir. If you'd had a camera there, what could you have seen? Simply in terms of lights and lighting. So can you see it really helps to visualize scenarios more descriptively? And that is what the 9th clue enables us to do. Before we get to that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Like, share, leave a comment, and let's get started. So for a long time, I've imagined Kiely taking a wrong turn in a situation where all the other vehicles have sort of left, and she's one of the last to leave. And she turns the wrong way and she sort of heads into sort of darkness, right? But what could also have happened, especially with 300 to 400 partygoers, is that some others took a wrong turn as well. A handful also took a wrong turn, or that some purposefully went to a new spot by the water. Some who decided they wanted to leave, but not leave the entire area. They just wanted to go somewhere else. Went to a new spot by the water, perhaps to light a fire or to have a cookout or just to, kind of look at what things were like there. And perhaps some of their friends were there and kind of invited them over. It's possible Kiely may have followed some of these lights, and perhaps she was assuming they were going where she was going, and thus that's how she became disoriented. So if she followed some vehicles to the false isthmus, that sort of peninsula going out to the beach, it's possible some parked in the area, and Kiely, not knowing where she was, drove on and drove into the water. Kiely may have seen red brake lights and thought, well, I need to go in that direction, only to pass those lights and then drive into the water. In this scenario, it's possible that the moment she drove over the edge, her vehicle may not have been visible to partygoers higher up or on the other side. If they were playing loud music, they wouldn't necessarily have heard anything either. I don't like the scenario because it suggests additional actors who would have provided additional illumination, almost to the point where the vehicle ditched. And I suspect the reason Kiely got disoriented was because it was dark. But it's possible, certainly possible, that she was misled into following certain lights, and this is why she initially took a wrong turn. This scenario also leans closer to a foul play scenario where, for example, Kiely may have driven away from folks she knew, got herself lost, and then found herself with strangers, and once there, gotten herself into further trouble. Also, her vehicle was right there to dispose of. But this scenario still doesn't explain why the vehicle apparently drove straight off the strip and plunged headlong into the water at speed, causing it to drift away from shore in the direction it was going, so that it was eventually found about 55 feet from shore. As to whether this footage is legit, it's difficult to say. The sky appears to me to be illuminated too much, and there also appears to be way too many lights on the ground after midnight. The other thing that I think is a big question is, if you've got CCTV footage, if it's recorded, then why on earth would you not play the video? In other words, see these lights moving. Why do you instead have kind of static screen grabs? Obviously, the ideal way to look at this is look at how the lights are moving and follow how the lights are moving. So the fact that you've got CCTV footage apparently, a recording apparently, except it's static, that to me is definitely suspicious. So to reiterate, the reason that this to me is the number 9 clue that we all missed is it gives a different scenario for Kiely driving the way that she did, in that you could have had a confusing light trails, not only going in one direction, but possibly going in another direction, and Kiely possibly trying to follow these light trails, right? Kind of, she may have thought, I'm compromised, I'm struggling to drive, so all I must do is concentrate on the lights in front of me. That may have been the thinking process. And in a situation where there are 300 or 400 people, you can easily imagine a kind of chaotic departure where out of all of these vehicles, some go in different directions, right? So I'm not going to take it further than that. I do want to invite those of you who are fairly new to the channel, who haven't read any of my books, to join me at it's 9 p.m. Pacific time, where we'll be doing the first episode in the TCRS book club series, and we'll be specifically talking about a definitive narrative. What is a definitive narrative? What goes into it? How do you recognize it? And what are the implications of a definitive narrative? I'll also be sharing a few anecdotes and a few experiences, and just giving you guys a bit of an idea of my backstory as an author. So I'll be taking you through how I got into writing, why I got into writing, and the books, the chronology of the books, how they came out and why they came out in the order that they came out. So if you're into true crime, also if you like reading, you might find this quite interesting. So it'll be 9 p.m. Pacific time. I'll put a link, it'll appear on your screen towards the end of this video. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.